Hey, good morning, everybody. How we doing? I think you've probably heard that a bunch of times, but energy's still up. So, hey, normally I do this kind of intro, and I use slides, but as I looked at the speakers that were presenting today and the kind of people that would be in the audience, I realized it's a whole bunch of wicked smart people, and you might generate your own visualization. So I want to do a little exercise real quick. I want everyone to close their eyes. Don't fall asleep, but close your eyes for just a second. I want you to picture you've driven 3 miles or so, or not 3 miles, 3 hours or so outside of town. There's no lights. It's dark. It's midnight. I want you to picture just looking up into space. As you close your eyes and picture, what do you see? You probably see the vastness, the darkness. You see a bunch of stars. You see a whole bunch of things. Go ahead and open up your eyes. What I see when I look up into space at night, in town, out of town, wherever, is I see 14,000, roughly, active satellites on orbit. I see 34,000 pieces of debris moving around the Earth at roughly 17,000 or more miles per hour. When you leave here, go home, go onto Google and just type visualization of satellites in orbit. And you'll see this map that has the Earth on it. And if you click the button, it'll take the satellites away and you'll see the Earth as you would see a globe. And you click the button again, and then it's nothing but all of these satellites. When Lieutenant Whitworth, a little while ago, joined before the Space Force existed, Air Force Space Command at the time, there were roughly 2,000 satellites on orbit. The Department of Defense was the largest constellation, it was GPS at the time, in orbit. As we look today, that's no longer the case. Starlink has like roughly 8,000 satellites. Commercial providers are sending up new satellites on a daily basis. Again, when I joined 2000, that was 2018, we now sit in 2025 where there are 14,000 active satellites on orbit and more coming every day, every week, every month, every year. Commercial partners, Department of Defense, our adversaries. Space is the next domain, but it's truly the oldest domain. But it's moving at paces we've absolutely never seen before. So what are we doing in the Space Force, and where do we need help to ensure that we can continue to operate in that domain and protect our nation's interests? We really have to shift our way of thinking. We really have to focus on building fast, securing first, and connecting everything. So when I say building fast, I'm talking about radical changes in procurement that are happening right now. In the service, we're looking at combining operations and acquisitions, two entities that used to sit completely apart from one another, and the acquirers would go out and build, and 10, 12 years later, they'd pop out a satellite, and the operators would do something with it, and then we'd enter this cycle again, and slowly we would do that. Now we're combining those into system and mission deltas, where the operator is sitting on the floor with the acquisitions professional, and they're iterating as fast as possible. The Space Development Agency is launching P-LEO satellites at very quick rates. We're looking to implement commercial solutions to go as fast as we can. We need to start thinking in the way of how software is released, right? Like it's iterative, it keeps going. When I say secure first, this is also a little bit of a paradigm shift. Who here, just quick show of hands, kind of comes from industry, has built something for the department that's IT or software related? You've had to go through the ATO process. Hands up still, ATO process. Keep your hands up if you like the ATO process. Yeah, it's terrible, right? Oh, I see a hand in the back. We'll have to talk later. I've done speeches like this where I've been like, hey, let's sit down and walk through how to upload artifacts into EMAS, and like everybody runs out the door. DoD CIO has said we need to blow up the RMF, and we absolutely do, but it takes shifting our little mindset. So instead of building something, getting to the end and saying I have to ATO it, and then you go to authorizing official, and we go down and down this road. If you build secure from the start, if you ignore the ATO and you say I'm going to build a cyber secure system, the ATO is super simple on the back end, right? We want cybersecurity, we need compliance, we can make them meet in the middle by starting earlier in the process. And when I say connect everything, I truly mean everything, but that doesn't mean we just start plugging network cables in and downloading data and doing that. We have to do that in a secure fashion, and we have to do that in a fast and iterative fashion. So that means building with zero trust in mind. That means building the components that we need so that we can consume that data. Because the next war is going to be fought in the information space, right? He who has the most data and can consume it, process it, and action on it the quickest will be the winner in that next space. And so we have to break down some of the silos. Across the department, across the FedCiv landscape, we need to consume industry data, we need to consume academic data, we need to consume all of that and do it in a way that is, again, secure by design, and we can move quickly. A lot of this takes change, right? It's simple. So some of the things are happening within the department, some of the things are happening with industry, but we're gonna all have to come together and do it in a way where we can all head towards the same goal. And I see that happening on a daily basis. As we talk about shifting the RMF process, and in the Space Force, what we've done is we've said, okay, we love what Ms. Arrington is doing, DoD-CAO, let's blow it up. What can we do right now? What can we change? So we're going to rebrand our authorizing official structure, and we're going to put it under one umbrella. So before, we would have programs and vendors and things kind of go AO shopping, and you would find an AO that was wicked smart and could do it really fast, and then everybody would move to that person. So instead of just continuing to spread this out, let's find that person who understands cybersecurity, let's put an umbrella underneath, and then let's federate the control down. We want to move the decision space down to the operational commanders, down to the people who have to actually accept that risk. But again, it takes a little change of thought. If everything is connected, risk that I accept over here becomes risk that was accepted over there, whether this person who accepted that risk knew it or not. So we move to a central construct. We move to combined operators and acquisitions, and we move to secure by design. Then we need to bring in the partnerships, and we need to do that really quick. I've heard a lot of good speeches this morning. AI is the name of the game. It's where everything is headed. And the service, Space Force, we are super small. We are tiny, like unbelievably tiny. We will need AI. It has to happen, and we're moving in that direction. But we need to do that with industry, with academia, in a way that pulls that data in, that builds that foundation, and rolls those out. I think the biggest piece is our workforce. So our guardians, and I'm sorry to any of you who are in other services or the other services are here, I think we have the most intelligent military and civilian members in the Department of Defense. And we're working to unlock their potential and remove some of those strings and barriers, the constant paperwork, those pieces, so that they can move faster. And we're looking to do that with our commercial providers. We're looking to bring in all of those folks so that we can do it together. We need some help in finding ways to train and think through things differently, right? Like, it's really easy at my level to be like, yeah, we want AI, it's gonna make us move faster, and we're gonna see velocity, and we're gonna see all of those things. But we need to be able to train and bring that down to the lowest operator. And that, again, takes a little shifting mindset, right? We in the department are very used to training for a tool, training for a capability. AI has caused us to think a little bit differently. Do I need to train them how to go in and type into the agent the exact thing that they want and it spits it out? No, we need to start training and changing how the tool is used so that the operator can stay in the loop. In the service, we're looking at doing a lot of different things with AI, from space domain awareness to operations to those pieces. A human will stay in the loop for sure the foreseeable future, but they need to understand that the data going in is something that they can trust. They need to understand how the data is processed and how the data is coming out. And so as we work through, and like closing comments, 10 minutes is really hard to share a whole bunch of crazy ideas, right? Like, I was looking at the list of things I wanted to talk about. As we look through that, the human is what will pull all three of those pieces together. We can set up great structures of operations and acquisitions. I can write great policy that says you'll do cybersecure by design, and I can say you will work to connect everything with zero trust. But I need to pull in the right people who can connect all of those dots together and bring it into execution. Thank you so much for letting me chat today. I appreciate it. You have a great one.